never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated by a mix of emotion. Got my statement, and I'm reading it slow so I can understand it fully. Appreciate my standing, go out of this world and right on time. Oh, never in my life have I seen the sky light up like this. I'm far away from Earth and I wanna know if you exist. Mission control, do you read me? Send me my coordinates lately. Mission control, am I drifting? Tie me to someone who will love me, yeah. Wait, I think I'll last a bit longer. Fine.
Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd family part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. I want to kick off today's video by asking one simple question. How much money, in your opinion, is too much money? And I'll tell you why I'm asking that coming up here in a couple of minutes. But first, since it is Thursday, it is officially opening day in the world of Major League Baseball. Normally, sometime in late February, early March, I do a Braves early season preview. I decided I wouldn't do one this year. I'll just wait until opening day and then we'll discuss some baseball, because everybody knows by now that baseball is not only my favorite sport, it is the best sport there is. Major League Baseball is, according to some people, dying, but it's not the game itself. It's the people in charge of the game that are making baseball die, so to speak. But today I'm going to give you my predictions in Major League Baseball in each division. Not going to talk about wild cards, just division winners. In the American League, I've got the Yankees, the Guardians, and the Astros winning their respective divisions. Now, the division that the Cleveland Guardians are in is the, by far, worst division in baseball. But somebody has to win it, and it's going to be either the Guardians or the White Sox. The Guardians will probably win about 84, 85 games, but that'll be enough to win that pathetic, pitiful division. Over in the National League, I've got the Braves, the Cardinals, and the Dodgers winning their divisions. The Braves just put Kyle Wright on the injured list, so they are going to start the season with two rookies in the starting rotation. That is Jared Schuster and Dylan Dodd. And Jared Schuster is actually going to start on Sunday, which is Game 3 against the Nationals. So you have Max Fried, Spencer Strider, and Jared Schuster. So they have bumped Charlie Morton back to the number 4 starter in the rotation and put Jared Schuster, a rookie, ahead of Charlie Morton. I said it last year and I'll say it again. I think Charlie Morton is toast, and I think it was a terrible idea to bring him back for one more season, but that's just my personal opinion. The Braves are going to be without Raisel Iglesias for at least the first couple of weeks, probably the first month. So I'm guessing they're going to go with either A.J. Minter or Kirby Yates to to be their closer until Iglesias gets back. And I'm sure Ronald Acuna Jr. is going to be the leadoff hitter in the lineup. But it's hard to look at the Braves lineup and not be excited about this year. I think the Braves are going to be really good. And I'll go ahead and make my prediction now. The World Series will be the Braves and the Astros. That's just what I think. But on to my question from a few moments ago. How much money is too much money? And I'm just curious, and this is going to be a topic for tomorrow, so stay tuned for tomorrow, and I will give you my personal opinion on what I think we should do with the salaries in sports. But this used to be a topic that you asked people that watched professional sports, but honestly, really, truly, now that collegiate players are getting paid, it's a question you can ask every sports fan, whether they like college sports, pro sports, or both, because they both get paid now. You now have college players coming out of high school before they play one snap in football or before they throw one pitch in baseball that are making more money than the presidents and the ADs of the school that they're going to, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. And the Notre Dame athletic director came out one day last week talking about some of the things he thinks needs to change in the world of college sports, because if they don't change, he predicts that college sports will be gone in about the next 10 years because we have destroyed it. And I agree with him. And if you actually read the article and look at it and read it from an unbiased point of view, it's hard to not agree with what he says. But for whatever reason, most people hate Notre Dame. So when they find out that Jack Swarbrick is the one that said it, they automatically say, oh, this guy's an idiot. But if you don't think about the guy being involved with Notre Dame and put your fandom aside of whatever team you like and the fact that you hate Notre Dame and just read the article, he makes great points in what he says, because paying these players all this money is an embarrassment to every single university that does it, and it's an embarrassment to collegiate sports. But there's a baseball player named Shohei Ohtani, and if you watch baseball at all, you know who he is. He's a phenomenal baseball player, but he is a hitter and a pitcher. And most pitchers in the modern day, all they do is pitch. And they make 29, 30 starts a year, and they make $30+ million. And most of the best hitters in the game have signed contracts where they're making between $25 and $35 million a year. So if hitters that only hit make between 25 and 35 million, and pitchers that only pitch make between 25 and 35 million, and Shohei Ohtani does both, more than likely that leads you to conclude and believe that this upcoming offseason he's going to get some kind of contract where he's going to be offered between 50 and 60 million a year, which would be normal if you think about the fact that he's making what a hitter makes plus what a pitcher makes put together. To a lot of people, that's too much money. So I just want to know, what do you think is too much money? And then we have the football player, Lamar Jackson, that is asking for way more money than he deserves, and way more money than he needs, and way more money than he's worth. But the problem is he thinks that he is better than Deshaun Watson. He's not, but he thinks he is. So he thinks that since the Cleveland Browns gave Deshaun Watson that astronomical contract they gave him last offseason, that he should get the same kind of contract. There's only one problem. If you followed the whole Deshaun Watson thing last offseason, there were several other teams that were supposedly in the running for signing Deshaun Watson. But he ended up signing with the Browns because they were the only team that offered that much money. So Lamar Jackson can't think that there's going to be another team that year that's this stupid. The Browns can't be that stupid 2 straight off seasons. And if they were the only team in the league that was offering Deshaun Watson that kind of money, that means there was no other team offering Deshaun Watson that kind of money, which means there's going to be no other team that's going to offer Lamar Jackson that kind of money. But he thinks since Deshaun got it, he needs it. It's not like Deshaun Watson was offered that much money and that kind of a deal by 9 or 10 teams, but he chose the Browns. The Browns were the only team that offered him a contract like that. So if nobody else offered Deshaun, then nobody else is going to offer Lamar. So that's why this Lamar Jackson thing is ongoing, because he thinks he needs and deserves the kind of money Deshaun Watson is making. But how much money in your eyes is too much money? And in tomorrow's video, we'll go more in depth with this, and I'll tell you what I think would be the solution to all of these contracts, not just in professional sports, but in collegiate sports as well. Any thoughts on Major League Baseball? Please feel free to let me know. Homes for Our Troops is a publicly funded 501c nonprofit organization that builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans. Since the 2004 inception, nearly 90 cents of every dollar spent has gone directly to our program services for veterans. Visit at hfusa.org. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. This is something you can think about for a while. If a Whole Foods store sells sliced apples, is that false advertising? And that wraps it up for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.